From fast fashion to sustainable style and brand new to pre-owned, some retail industry experts say they're seeing a major shift in American shopping habits. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. In 2024, more than half of consumers bought secondhand clothing. And by 2029, the U.S. secondhand apparel market is expected to hit $74 billion in sales.
Reporter Heather Graff shows us what's driving this trend and the benefits that go beyond your wallet.
Can't find a size on this one.
For Stephanie Hernandez, it's the thrill of the hunt inside a thrift store.
One of the things thrifters always do is they push the hangers out of the way so you can really see what you're doing.
Assessing every aisle.
Let's see.
And rummaging through each rack in search of the right style and size.
It's almost like you get a shot of adrenaline because you're like, this is perfect. I can't believe I found it.
But on this day,
they're kind of fun.
She is not shopping for herself.
She wants pants, skirts, cardigans.
Stephanie is what's known as a secondhand stylist in Washington, D.C., where clients pay her to help them curate a one-of-a-kind, sustainable wardrobe.
They want to be more sustainable and they are kind of thinking about it more, but they don't really have the time to go out to a thrift store and hunt for those amazing pieces.
And you're pretty passionate about sustainability. Why is that?
I just feel like there's already so much out there in the world, and buying new just creates more and more waste.
In fact, the Council for Textile Recycling estimates the average American throws away more than 70 pounds of clothing and other textiles each year. While globally, according to the United Nations Environment Program, the equivalent of one garbage truck of textiles is landfilled or burned every single second.
I see videos of clothes washing up on beaches in countries across the ocean, and it breaks my heart. That's kind of why I started the business, to educate people about that and show them that there are other options.
And right now, she says, both her business and the secondhand industry as a whole,
let's go to pants,
seem to be booming.
I've worked with people anywhere from in their 20s to in their 60s. It's actually very exciting.
At the Goodwill store where Stephanie is currently browsing, the staff has noticed it too, sharing this statistic as proof of impact. In 2024, Goodwill of the Greater Washington area kept more than 48 million pounds of material out of local landfills.
That is no small number. And shopping secondhand is not a fad. It is trendy, but I don't see it being a trend. I see it being a movement.
A movement that's also made its way to this DC vintage shop, where you'll find a treasure trove of authentic pieces that are all at least 20 years old.
Secondhand fashion has never been more popular. Oh my God, for sure. I think people are more aware.
This one.
Yeah.
Store owners Rajni Rao and Libby Rasmussen largely credit Gen Z for its increased interest in environmentally friendly fashion, plus a love of eclectic finds.
A 90s Dickies jacket.
That together are breaking the stigma around buying used clothing. This 2025 resale report found the U.S. secondhand apparel market is growing on average about 9% each year.
There was a rebranding, because it's not that secondhand shopping is new. I talk to my mother-in-law about this all the time, and she's like, listen, I did it, but I was ashamed. The fact that it has been so de-shamed is so liberating.
We know it's a growing industry.
Adele Meyer is with the National Association of Resale and Thrift Shops, known as NARTS, that closely monitors shopping habits on behalf of its member stores across the country. And she believes another factor driving the popularity of pre-owned is economic uncertainty. Because as budget-conscious consumers look to stretch their dollars, she says thrifted clothing often comes at a lower price than brand-new retail.
People have a lot of pulls on their money, so when they can find a way of saving on consumer goods, and resale is certainly a way, they take advantage of it.
Some experts suggest shopping secondhand is also a way to avoid tariffs that could be imposed on imported clothing.
That is true. Absolutely true.
At Howard University's College of Fine Arts, Professor Mickey Taylor teaches a course on sustainable fashion.
Head to toe right now, I have on everything I have on is from the thrift store.
From thrifting to upcycling, in which older garments are repurposed into new pieces.
This was originally a pair of jeans. and I made it into a skirt.
Taylor practices what she preaches, but in educating students about why it matters, she also has the class examine their own closets, choices, and patterns of consumption.
I let them know all the chemicals that are involved in just one item, one t-shirt, a pair of jeans. It is incredibly important to teach them that because our environment is definitely being affected.
The good news, from Taylor's perspective, is that shopping sustainably is getting more convenient, thanks to online resale platforms like ThredUp and Poshmark, plus the rise of rental options such as Nuuly and Rent the Runway, in which customers pay a monthly fee to borrow clothes rather than buy them.
So what is your advice to someone who, might be interested in starting to shop secondhand but doesn't know where to begin?
I would say just dive in. I mean, really, just look at how much you have. What is it that you could remake or reinvent? Get like a solid staple piece and then build around it.
We literally go through everything in the closet.
It's why this secondhand stylist shows every new client how to shop their existing wardrobe first. Only then comes Stephanie's sustainable search here at the thrift store.
So nice.
Reshaping closet culture, one find at a time.
Oh, these could be a winner. Yes, best part of my job.
Sustainability concerns in fashion have also caught the attention of lawmakers here in Washington, and in 2024, that led to the formation of what's being called the Slow Fashion Caucus, led by Congresswoman Shelley Pingree of Maine.
Often people don't understand the role that fashion is playing today in our climate crisis. In fact, the fashion industry is responsible for more carbon emissions than all international flights and maritime shipping combined.
Pingree and others feel the issue of textile waste has gotten much worse since the rise of so-called fast fashion, which rapidly churns out cheap and trendy clothing. The goal of the Slow Fashion Caucus is to push forward policies aimed at reducing waste in the industry. In Washington, I'm Heather Graff.
Still to come, it's not a diagnosis, but it could tell you whether you're protected against a highly contagious illness. We explore what a simple blood test reveals about measles immunity and explain why doctors believe it's critical for some.
But first, a grandmother hoping to gain custody of her grandson fails a drug test.
I was like, no, that can't be. I said, I don't do meth.
And she's not the only member of her family who didn't pass. We investigate false positive results and uncover the screening process at the center of similar claims.